Hey everybody, I'm Rick. Welcome to Talking Habs. In this video today, it is my round 3 preview for the Montreal Canadiens at the Vegas Golden Knights. Well, it's not at, versus the Vegas Golden Knights. And that's in the 2021 Stanley Cup Playoffs. All right, so I'm going to do my review of this as I can, and hopefully have fun while we're doing it, and hopefully this will take less time than maybe the series might take. So, hopefully, I'm for those who might have been waiting for this video, I apologize for it taking so long. They were digging up the lawn in front and all day and making noise, and I couldn't get started until after 9 o'clock. So, like I said, we have the Montreal Canadiens versus the Vegas Golden Knights in round 3 of the playoffs. Montreal's 8-3 so far in this series. They won 4-3 to the Toronto Maple Leafs after being down 3-1, and they swept the Winnipeg Jets in round 2. Vegas Golden Knights are 8-5. They won, I think it was Minnesota, 4-3. I believe they were the opposite. They were up 3-1 and then held on to win in the 7th game in that against Minnesota, and then they just beat Colorado 4-2 in a bit of a surprise to a lot. All right, so how do people feel about this series? These, I don't know all of these. There's one or two guys, these pundits, that I know, and predictions, and it's typical. In round 1, I don't think anybody gave it to Canadians at all. Round 2, there was one guy I think that picked Montreal, and here in round 3 of these people, of which I only really know, I think 2 of the people, and that's Greg Wyshynski and Barry Melrose. I don't know if I know any of these other people, but they are pundits. And I see just this Sack Chandon has Canadians in 7, and Arda Okel Canadians in 7. So that's 15 of these people here. 13 are picking Knights in various. Nobody's calling it for a sweep, but anywhere from 5 to 7. Yeah, there's a 7 for the Knights there. So again, Montreal going in as the huge underdog, and basically everybody picking the Knights. For the series, I'm also going to give you my prediction for the game. So for game 1, I'm going to give you my guess the score. If you guess the score of the game and the first goal scorer of the game, and it doesn't matter which team you pick the goal aspects of it, you can win a $10. And I will give you my predictions at the end of the video. All right. For some team season scoring stats. Share the screen, and let's see. All right, so this is the Vegas Golden Knights. This is I just wanted to show their team size. I was under the impression that maybe they were not as huge on defense, but they are. This is a big. You got a 6'6" guy, 6'4", 6'4", 6'3", 6'1", 6'2". I think those are the heights. So that matches up well against Montreal. As far as team defense size, I think Montreal's a little better defensively than Vegas Golden Knights defense, and I think conversely, Vegas Golden Knights are probably a little bit more offensively gifted on. Okay, so basically to show that, and I wanted to show scoring. So if you look at the regular season scoring, you can see the Vegas Golden Knights definitely had more scoring, more guys 30+ points than Montreal. You're looking at 2, 4, 6, 8 guys that were 30 or more points in the season. So this was a higher team than Montreal. But if you take a look in the playoffs, you see it kind of evens out in the playoffs. Yes, you got a bunch of guys 7+, probably have more offense still than Montreal, but not, I don't think, as hugely different than in the regular season. We'll go and look at Montreal's now. And I just to show here Montreal's defense. So you got 6. We know there's 6'3", 6'4", 6'3", 6'4", 6'2", I think, or 6'1", and Alex Romanov is 6 feet. Kulak, I mean, yeah, Romanov's the small guy at 6 feet. So it's also a very big defense, but this is a very physically, what's the word I'm looking for? It's not that they're bullies, but there's a term I'm looking for. It's not coming out. But a very physically challenging team defensively because they like to hit. This is a tough, mean, like Sherratt. He's tough. He's mean. Edmondson, same thing. Weber can play that game. And Petrie, maybe not as much as on the mean side, but he can still play a tough game. Moves the puck, and offensively is the big guy on defense. But you can see that size-wise, the two defenses match up well. Let's see now. Regular season scoring, like I showed you, they had 8 guys, 30-plus. Montreal had half of that, and that's 4 guys. But they did have, I think, is like 10 players with 20 or more points. So it's still pretty good pretty good regular season scoring. And then if you look in the playoffs, it's not that far off from what we saw there for Vegas Golden Knights. And it just means that in the playoffs, it's lower scoring games usually. And, the scoring can kind of even out. There's a lot of advanced stat stuff. I don't really know, but I just wanted to show you that. We're going to look at the combinations now, the line combinations. And we'll start out with the Golden Knights. So Golden Knights' first line is Max Pacioretty, Chandler Stevenson, and Mark Stone. Who is Chandler Stevenson? Don't know, but I did get right here. So this is Chandler Stevenson. He is a center, shoots left. He is 27 years old, and he is 6 feet. His stats. He played with Washington, so he's out of Washington's organization. And not really big numbers until this past season, where he had career numbers of 51, not the games, but 14 goals, 21 assists, 35 points. So I'm not sure why this guy is the first line center, to be very honest with you. I don't really know. So I don't know if there's an injury there, or I would assume there's an injury there that I don't know about. And that's why. So Mark Stone, great player, shutdown guy, Selke Trophy nominee kind of guy, might win it. And then you got Pacioretty. We all know Pacioretty. So how is he going to play against Montreal in the playoffs? This should be a really good storyline. Line 2, Jonathan Marchessault, a Quebec-born player, William Karlsson. Now this is a pretty good center here. Not sure why he's not on the first line, but I don't know Vegas that well. Riley Smith on his wing. This line can put up some points, no doubt. Line 3, Matthias Janmark, Nicholas Roy, because he's also a Quebec-born player, and Alex Tuck. That is a tough line. So this line, I believe, can put up a couple of points, and they're pretty tough. And then you got William Carrier. He's also a Quebec-born player. From what I understand, this guy can hit, and he's a tough player. And this is a formidable guy to play against. Keegan Colasar, don't know much about him, but I did hear in an interview he was the very first player to step on the ice in practice ever for the Vegas Golden Knights. I think that's Ryan Reeves, and I'm worried about Ryan Reeves. We'll talk about it. Defense, Alex Martinez, Alex Pietrangelo, top pairing. They can put up some points. This is a good offensive top pairing. Braden McNabb, Shea Theodore. Shea Theodore, I know, a good point getter. I'm not so sure on the defensive side. And then you got Nick Holden, Zach Whitecloud. These are all big guys. And I just think Montreal is better defensively as a group than these guys. And I think offensively, obviously, these guys are a little better than Montreal's guys. So we'll see how that works out. I'm not going to go over the power play units because they both don't have great power plays right now. And I don't know enough about some of their guys to really talk about it. So I'm not. In net, Marc-Andre Fleury, without a doubt, he should play all the games. Robin Lehner, like Jake Allen, is there just in case. And if you see him in net, it's not really a good thing at this point. You want your main guy in there all the time really all the way through, but especially at this point on. Let's take a look at Montreal. Okay, so I don't believe there's any changes. So we got Lehkonen, Deno, and Gallagher. Well, we know Lehkonen filled in really well for Jake Evans, and he's done well on the line. And I don't know that we're missing Thomas Tatar at all. So hopefully that'll keep up right there. Then second line, Suzuki with Toffoli and Caulfield on the wings. This is the line that's going to get us our offense. You got to think. I love Caulfield's the way he's shooting. Every chance he gets, that is a legitimate shot. If not, he's trying to make a play. He's got only 4 assists, but they've been key assists. Setting up the series-winning goal with Toffoli against the Jets. So this is a good line, I expect. Obviously, Nick Suzuki. I love Nick Suzuki. He steps up in the playoffs. It's going to be a huge test. It's the team that drafted him, that traded him away, that he's playing against. So that's a big storyline. And then Tyler Toffoli, game-winning goal to seal a series-winning goal against the Jets. 10 points in 11 games, almost a point a game, and just stepping it up after having a few games there in the Toronto series where he didn't produce anything, but he's been a monster otherwise. Third line, KK, centering Anderson and Paul Byron. Now, this line could be key. If Josh Anderson could do what we need, and that is exactly what he did in Game 1 against the Leafs. He hit everything in sight. He was just a beast out there. Now, I know he has an injury or had an injury. I hope there's definitely enough time in the last week for him to be back 100%. And if that's the case, look for Josh Anderson to make a big difference in this series, without a doubt, if he's on top of his game. And then KK can be he can play it tough, and he's got 4 goals. I'd love to see him get a couple more goals, and I don't know. I just have this high hope for KK, and I love what I see. He's on the third line. He needs to match up well against their tough third line. I think KK can play it tough. And then you got Byron, who is a sneaky player, plays tough, and can get some important goals, and he can hook up easily with KK. Who is a good playmaker, and either of those two guys, Anderson and Byron. So I expect to see, at least I'm very hoping to see, and if Montreal wants to have a lot of success, these guys are going to be very important. Next is I call it the scooter line. That's because Stahl and Perry pretty much need a scooter to get to the other net. But Armia, Stahl, and Perry, they were fantastic against the Jets. Can't say enough about them. And if they can just keep that up, wow, that's all I can say. If they can put some of those important goals in net against VGK, that's going to go a long way in any success Montreal's going to have. Sherratt, Weber, these guys just bruising. You want to get in front of the net, you're going to pay the price with these two guys. They have been fantastic, especially against the Jets and the last 3 games against Toronto. And I just expect more of the same. Now you see Kulak and Edmondson. I have a feeling it's going to be back to Petrie, Edmondson. If not, Kulak and Edmondson. Kulak does a great job as a fill-in in the top 4. I don't expect any different here. And if it's Jeff Petrie, who I hope actually be back for Game 1, that just gives me more hope for Montreal to have success in this game. And then third pairing of Romanov and Gustafsson. If Petrie's back, it'll be Kulak and Gustafsson. And Gustafsson's been fantastic. A couple of goals. Maybe it's 1 goal, 3 assists, something like that. 2 goals, 2 assists, something like that. Done really well. And puck-moving defenseman, exactly what we need. Another one like Petrie, and it only helps the offense. And proof was in that the last 7 games, Gustafsson was out for a couple of games. They put him back in, and they've been winning ever since. And that puck mover, that extra puck mover, makes a big difference. Big difference. No change on the power play lines. Caulfield and Suzuki, Toffoli on the first unit. With Perry, I like that. Gustafsson's been quarterbacking our unit, the first unit, done a good job. And then you got, a surprise there is if Romanov's in. He's been on that second power play unit with Weber, Anderson, KK, Gallagher. Love it. Carey Price in net. And as like I said, Allen, don't expect to see Allen. There's no need, and you don't want to right now, as he would tell you. All right, so there you go. That's the lineup. Let me see if I can figure out how to get out of there. And there you go. There's my face again. All right, so we've gone through all those things. I think Montreal matches up okay with Vegas. I think Montreal matches up well with them. And let's go over a few other things. There's a surprising stat if you don't know, which we're going to get to soon. And what's next? I just wanted to show this here. Big matchup. I think the biggest matchup that everyone's looking forward to is Carey Price against Marc-Andre Fleury, right? So here's their playoff stats. Carey Price is 8-3, 197 goals against, and a 935 save percentage. Just great numbers. And Marc-Andre Fleury, 8-4, 191 goals against, and a 923 save percentage, and virtually even. So the two great goalies. One is a Hall of Fame goalie in Marc-Andre Fleury, and Carey Price is a hopeful Hall of Fame goalie. What he needs is a Stanley Cup ring, and I know he's desperately trying to get that, and he's showing it in his play. Okay, next up. This is the surprise to me. I thought this was the case, that Montreal does well against Vegas. So Vegas has been around for 4 years. No games against Vegas this past season. So 3 seasons of games, and that's led to 6 games. Montreal is 5-1, and then in 3 of those games, they went into overtime or a shootout. So Montreal has won against Vegas. Granted, very close. I expect this series to be close and the games to be close, and this is one of the reasons why I have hope that Montreal can beat Vegas this year. Montreal's a better team than the other years, and I don't think that Vegas is that much of a worse team or a better team, that there's big difference on their side, but Montreal is a better team, and this could bode well. So that's one of the key, for me, a key stat here. On injury note, I have nothing on any updates for Vegas, but I do have for Montreal. Jeff Petrie, Jake Evans, and John Merrill will be traveling with the team to Vegas, which means they are either going to play in game 1 or in any combination, I don't know, or they are that close to being ready that they expect them to either play in game 1 or in game 2, because the first 2 games are in Vegas. So that's really good news. Jake Evans looks great in practice, looks great. Apparently the concussion wasn't as bad as you would have thought from what we saw, and that's just great news, and hopefully that'll be good for him for the rest of his career, because that's his 3rd or 4th major concussion, and or serious concussion, and that's not good for any player, and he's only 25. Special team and face-off stats. Again, I feel like, first of all, I think special teams, when you got 2 teams that are kind of close like these 2 teams, special teams are super important and could make a huge difference. And I think they did kind of in the Jets series, where the Habs PK was amazing and they scored goals on it. And that means the special teams really made a difference. The power play, not as great a difference, but that PK did. And I think it might have turned the tide or been that huge difference in the win against the Jets. So here, Montreal and VGK. Power play, Montreal's is 18.8%, and Vegas is 14.3%. So it's not a huge difference, but it's 3.5 point difference. That's enough. And the PK, 90.3%, like amazing, to 71.4 for VGK. Now if that can stay the way that is, wow, that could be hugely different, where Montreal can maybe get some power play goals while stopping Vegas on the power play, and that could be great. Because Montreal is a 5-on-5 team. If they can do well 5-on-5 and continue here on the special teams, well, I don't know, bodes well in my mind for Montreal. Face-off win percentage, well, we know Montreal wasn't going to be a top here. 49% for Montreal, and 54.9% for Vegas, and that happens to be number one in the playoffs. So face-offs, we're going to be a little challenged here. So, that's going to be one worry and something that Montreal is going to have to try to work on and turn that around a little bit. Where am I? Okay, so here is for me on the different categories that you might rate them on. So where I think who's got the advantage, right? So on offense, I think VGK has the advantage on offense. They've got more point producers than we do. Yes, it's not as big a difference in the playoffs, but it's still there. So advantage VGK. On the defense, I think since they're both relatively big defenses, I think Montreal's is a bit more of a playoff winning kind of defense in that it's going to be really physical. Yeah, see, I coughed on the truth. It's going to be hard to get in front of Carey Price and get good shots away and not pay the price. So if you're going to try to get in there, you're going to pay the price. So you better be willing. So it's going to, it's going to be difficult to get in front of Carey Price. For that aspect of it, I think Montreal's got a better overall defense defensively, and I think that's going to be a bit of an edge. It's an edge. It's not a full check. It's an edge. So the special teams, overall, I'm giving the check to Montreal because they've got the edge in the power play. It's a little bit better than Vegas's, and the PK is a lot better numbers-wise than Vegas. And then, I don't consider the face-off percentage in special teams, by the way. That was just in that other. Yeah, anyway. So that's, to me, is 1.5. So they get the edge. And there's 2 X's on the other side, so yeah. Face-off win percentage, obviously, that goes to Vegas. Depth goes to, I think, Montreal. Now, I'm going to only qualify this and say I don't know Vegas's depth that well. I was looking at it, and as best I can tell, I think Montreal's depth is better. I'm going to give them the check. And on the bottom there, that's run that you can't see because of my banner on the bottom is goal. That's goaltending, and there you can see there's 2 checks because you saw the numbers. That's dead even between Carey Price and Marc-Andre Fleury going into this. So dead even. So 5-3 for Montreal. I love that. That bodes well. Next up, I'm going to go. Okay, so I'm going to try to run through this as quick as possible. Keys for Montreal, key players. Phil Deneau, obviously, shutdown guy, did a great job in both series once he woke up, and he's going to be key here. Toffoli, Suzuki, Caulfield, that whole line, that's going to be key, especially if Caulfield can wake up and start scoring. Not wake up, but start to get some of those shots past the goalie. Once that happens, he's going to start scoring. And just overall, that line is going to drive most of their offense, or a lot. Yeah, I said most. Next, KK Anderson. I didn't include Byron there because I really think KK and Anderson, with their size, with physical play, and the offense that's also possible from them, I just think, I think those guys are going to be pretty key. Not to say Byron couldn't be. There's a lot of guys that can be. The top 4D, these guys have to do what they did, especially against the Jets. Shut down Vegas in front of the net. Got to do that. Got to quick breakouts, that kind of stuff. Scory Perry, those key goals, that just calm presence in front of the net, and just him being a shit disturber kind of guy. They call him the worm for a reason. He could be really big key. And then, of course, Carey Price. Playoff Price, because he got you here, and he's going to get you beyond. So Carey Price, if he can just stay consistent, which I don't expect any difference, is going to be big. On the other side, Max Pacioretty, ex-captain of Montreal, the trade for Suzuki, all that. That's a big storyline. Pacioretty, I think he's got 8 points in 7 games so far. So if he can keep that kind of scoring up, that's big. Jonathan Marchessault, he's been getting his points, and he's from Quebec. maybe this is a big game for him, stepping up against the Canadiens, his home province team. Same thing for William Carrier, big bruising kind of guy, fourth liner. He could make a big difference with some of those hits and that kind of play. And then Ryan Reeves, because we know Ryan Reeves could just go insane and try to kill somebody. I don't know. Mark Stone, like Phil Deneau, super key here. Shutdown kind of guy, Selke kind of guy, has offense, has defense, steals pucks everywhere, left and right, and it's going to be key for them. And there's their top 4D as well, obviously. Same like Montreal. They're more on the offensive side, so we'll see how they can do, but their top 4D is going to obviously be big. And then their playoff guy, Marc-Andre Fleury, battle of the two kings, Marc-Andre Fleury and Carey Price. He's going to be super key for them. I expect, let me take this down. I expect a close series, low scoring, goalie and defense heavy series, big hits, lots of physical play, and a long series. I expect this not to be a sweep by either team, and it to go 6 or 7 games. That's really what I think that it'll do. It'll go that far. Now, my biggest worry. What's your biggest worry? Let me know in the comment section. What's your biggest worry here? My biggest worry here is this. Ryan Reeves, who's a right wing, versus Cole Caulfield, who's a right wing on faceoffs. Because they got the matchup, the first last change, so they can match them up if they want with that. And if Reeves goes insane and says, "Well, I don't care how small he is, I'm going after him," that worries me. I don't think it'll happen, but it worries me. And then just Ryan Reeves in general trying to hurt somebody because, Vegas is losing, and then Reeves decides to go insane. And it's not like he hasn't done stuff like that, so he's my biggest worry from them. Let's see what's next. We'll go quickly. My keys to what I think my keys to victory. I'll give my guess if we're going to go long. This is a preview. Okay, so I did say in this, I'm not going to put up anything because it would be too many of those panels. I say this every game, all season. They've got to play a 60-minute game. Like, without a doubt, they got to play a 60-minute game, high energy. So a 60-minute high-energy game with a heavy forecheck. And I mean, seriously, these guys got to play 60 minutes and not let up for a second. Very physical. They got to play a very physical game like they did with Toronto in game 1 especially. They got to play that kind of physical game, bang bodies around. Josh Anderson, they call him Power Horse. He's got to be that. Cole Caulfield, create out there, create and shoot often. He's been fun to watch, and they told him shoot as much as you think you think you got a shot at a goal, shoot. And he started shooting a little more. He just needs to get one. If he gets one, he'll start getting, not like it won't go in droves, but he'll start scoring. We're all waiting for his first playoff goal. The defense, shut down the front of the net, like I said before. Shut down the front of the net. Let Carey Price see the shots, and he's going to make the saves. Keep the Vegas. I can't decide between VGK and Vegas. Keep Vegas to the perimeters as much as possible, which goes with keep the front of the net clear. First on the puck and quick breakouts in the defensive zone. It's going to be really important getting first on the puck and getting that puck out of there. Special teams play, as I showed you, PK, shutdown, VGK, power play, and we're good. That you're going to need to do that. If the PK can play the way they have been, that's going to be great. And then if the power play can just kick in, maybe a little bit better than they've been doing, but, I'd like to see them over 20% if we can. That'd just be great. Puck-moving defensemen, do your stuff. As I said earlier, with Gustafsson and Petrie out there, you got 2 puck movers. And it seems to be working. As we know, we need more puck movers. Weber and Sherratt, as much as I sometimes complained about them during the regular season, having them paired together, they've been amazing. My only worry for them is, can they maintain the stamina and the endurance for the series, but great that they had a week off as far as for that aspect of it. And I would expect that they can for a series where they've had 7 days off to rest and get, heal up whatever's undoubtedly something wrong, right? Execute their game plan. Execute their game plan. Don't play into the other team's game plan. Be patient and take advantage of Vegas' mistakes. Montreal is great on the transition, and they score on the rush. And if they're just patient, they will get the opportunities, and they can get their goals there. Stay away from dumb penalties. Ben Sherratt, stay away from dumb penalties. I don't have to say that about Corey Perry because he hasn't done that all season. So they can stay out of the box and not give Vegas a chance to get their power play going better. That is going to be great. Matchups at home. When they get back to Montreal, they got the last change. Hopefully they'll, that'll give them a bit of more of an advantage when they get back home. Because I think they're going to need every advantage, every game that they can get against Vegas. Carey Price. We know Carey Price. He's gotten us here right now. He's been fantastic. Look at those numbers. Everyone's been raving about Marc-Andre Fleury. Well, Carey Price, just the same. And here's one of the keys I don't think they can afford to not follow, and that is everyone shows up every minute of every game, and that's playoff hockey, second effort, and all those good things. And if they can do those things, I think they can win the series. Suzuki, I want to say this. Something I wanted to show. This is really something funny. Look at this, and then we'll get to my guests, and then we'll be out of here. Someone saw this on Facebook. Nick Suzuki is number 14. If you go by his letters of his name and you add them up from the letters in the alphabet, the numbers, it adds up to 107. If you deduct 14 from 107, you get 93. 93 equals the last Stanley Cup. So if you're one of those numbers kind of people who like those interesting things with numbers, there you go. Something interesting. Now it's my turn for the Guess the Score contest for Game 1, and I'm going to give you my prediction for the series as well. In Game 1, I think Montreal could win Game 1. It depends on if they're really rusty or not. Going to be big, right? We saw how Jets came out after a long layoff. The only thing that might be different is Vegas didn't come right out of their Colorado series and then right into Montreal. So they've had a few days off. Let's hope that helps to even it up a little bit. I think Montreal can do it. I really do. So I'm going to put it up here now for the series. I just said I think Montreal can win here. So here's my predictions. 3-2 Montreal, first goal, Tyler Toffoli. That's for Game 1. So 3-2 Montreal, Tyler Toffoli getting that first goal. And then series prediction, I think Habs can do it in 7. I'm going to go Habs in 7. And, Habs in 7. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Let's get out of here because this has been a really long video. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel and a Habs fan like I am, please subscribe. Ring that notifications bell. That's down there. That'll get you your daily fix of Bleu Blanc Rouge right here at Talking Habs. Like I said, leave a guess for the Guess the Score contest in the comment section and any other comments you might want to make. And I think that's it. Thanks for watching, everybody. Stay safe out there. Peace out, y'all. Go Habs, go. And I'll see you for Game 1, pregame show and game live hangout. Bye, everybody. Have a great night. Like I said, go Habs, go. They're due as Scotian Canadiens.